High above the clouds, where oxygen thins and the earth seems to touch the heavens, lies a world of staggering beauty and unimaginable danger, the Himalayas. This is not just a mountain range, it is the roof of the world, sculpted by time, wind, and ice into a realm both sacred and savage. Here, avalanches roar like thunder gods. Glaciers carve silent paths through ancient rock, and villages cling to cliffsides in quiet defiance of gravity itself. For centuries, explorers, monks, and wanderers have risked everything to glimpse its peaks, to stand at the edge of the impossible. Life here moves to the rhythm of extremes. Temperatures plummet, storms rise without warning, yet beauty blooms even in the harshest cold. In this documentary, we journey into the most extreme place on Earth, a land that challenges human endurance and reveals the raw, untamed power of nature. Welcome to the Himalayas, where every step tells a story written in snow, stone, and sky. Mad Honey Cliffs. High in the Himalayan foothills of central Nepal lies one of the world's most perilous and fascinating traditions, the honey hunting of the Mad Honey Cliffs. Towering more than 200 feet above the valleys, these vertical rock faces are home to Apis laboriosa, the world's largest honeybee. Their hives cling to sheer cliffs that seem impossible to reach. Twice a year, local Gurung tribesmen risk their lives, climbing hand-woven bamboo ladders to harvest the deep red honey that drips from the combs. This mad honey contains natural neurotoxins from rhododendron nectar. Small doses can cause hallucinations, while larger ones can be fatal. Scientists study it for its unique medicinal compounds, while anthropologists marvel at the courage and precision required to gather it. Against the backdrop of roaring waterfalls and icy winds, the honey hunters' centuries-old ritual stands as one of humanity's most daring connections to nature's extremes. Kosa Caves. Hidden high in the Upper Mustang region of northern Nepal, the Kosa Caves cling to the cliffs of the Himalayas like a honeycomb in the sky. Carved into towering sandstone walls, rising more than 150 feet, these ancient caves number in the thousands, silent witnesses to civilizations long forgotten. Archaeologists believe they were first dug nearly 3,000 years ago, used as burial chambers, later as monasteries, and finally as homes for those seeking refuge in the mountain's heart. Inside, soot-darkened chambers reveal intricate Buddhist murals and meditation cells connected by narrow tunnels. The soft Himalayan sandstone allowed ancient builders to sculpt entire networks by hand, layer upon layer. Today, researchers explore these sky caves with drones and ropes, uncovering relics and bones that rewrite the story of human life at extreme altitude. Kosa remains one of Earth's most mysterious archaeological frontiers, a vertical city frozen in time. Key Monastery. Perched at an altitude of over 13,000 feet in the remote Spiti Valley of northern India, Key Monastery rises like a frozen fortress, sculpted from the mountain itself. Seen from afar, it appears as a cascade of whitewashed structures clinging precariously to a steep, conical hill, each level stacked upon the next in a chaotic yet harmonious design that defies gravity. The architecture follows no formal blueprint. Centuries of reconstruction after invasions and earthquakes have created an organic, tiered formation resembling a honeycomb carved from stone. From its narrow terraces, rows of small windows stare out over the barren Oka Valley, while cylindrical prayer wheels and golden spires glint beneath the sun. Built with mud bricks and local stone, the monastery's sloping walls and irregular geometry are not flaws, but a masterpiece of adaptation, engineered to absorb seismic tremors and endure the brutal Himalayan winters. From above, it feels less like a man-made structure and more like the mountain's own heartbeat, a sacred organism breathing through the thin, eternal air. Paro Taksang Monastery. Clinging to the sheer cliffs of the Paro Valley, at over 10,000 feet above sea level, Paro Taksang Monastery, the Tiger's Nest, is one of the Himalayas' most astonishing architectural feats. Built in the 17th century, it appears to defy gravity, with its white walls and golden roofs anchored directly into the jagged granite face of a 1,000-foot precipice. According to legend, Guru Padmasambhava, who introduced Buddhism to Bhutan, flew to this site on the back of a tigress and meditated here for 3 years. The monastery's construction mirrors this myth, its structure fused into the mountain as if born from divine intervention. Engineers and monks worked in near impossible conditions, hauling materials up narrow cliffs by hand and rope. Inside, shrines and meditation caves are carved deep into the rock, where butter lamps flicker beneath ancient murals. Surrounded by swirling mists and the echo of distant prayer chants, Paro Taktsang stands as both a triumph of human devotion and a living symbol of Bhutan's spiritual identity suspended between earth and sky. Sokar Lake. High in the windswept plateaus of Bhutan, more than 15,000 feet above sea level, lies Sokar Lake, a surreal expanse known as the White Lake for its shimmering, salt-encrusted shores. Formed within an ancient tectonic basin of the Trans-Himalayan range, Sokar is a rare example of a high-altitude saline lake in a region dominated by freshwater systems. Its white mineral crusts and turquoise waters create a mesmerizing contrast against the ochre hills and snow-dusted peaks that surround it. Geologists believe the lake's unique chemistry comes from millennia of glacial meltwater trapped and evaporated by the intense Himalayan sun, leaving behind deposits of borax and sodium carbonate. Around the lake, small monasteries and whitewashed stupas rise from the barren terrain, symbols of spiritual endurance in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Sokar Lake remains a place where science, solitude, and spirituality converge beneath the roof of the world. Hidden deep within Bhutan's eastern Himalayas lies Singyedzong, the legendary Lion Fortress, perched nearly 10,000 feet above sea level. Reaching it is no simple journey. Travelers must trek for 2 days through dense alpine forests, glacial streams, and steep mountain ridges. This sacred cave complex, carved directly into cliffs of metamorphic rock, is believed to have been blessed by Guru Padmasambhava in the 8th century, who meditated here while spreading Buddhism across the Himalayas. The architecture seems almost fused with the landscape. Whitewashed shrines and wooden prayer halls cling to vertical rock faces, overlooking a vast expanse of cloud-swept valleys. From a geological perspective, the caves were formed by the natural erosion of ancient fault lines, creating hollow chambers later transformed into sanctuaries. Inside, visitors find quiet darkness illuminated by butter lamps, the scent of incense blending with cool mountain air. Singyadzong is more than a pilgrimage site. It is a place where faith, endurance, and the raw power of Himalayan geology meet in perfect harmony. Jogini Waterfall. Tucked away in the misty mountains near Manali, Jogini Waterfall cascades gracefully from a height of nearly 150 feet, surrounded by pine forests and ancient Himalayan rock formations. The waterfall is named after the local goddess Jogini, believed to guard the village and its sacred springs. Geologically, the site sits atop layers of Precambrian granite shaped by millions of years of glacial erosion and monsoon runoff, giving the cliffs their dramatic texture. As the icy meltwater from the Bees River rushes down, it collects in a natural pool where travelers often bathe, a spiritual and refreshing ritual said to bring purification and renewal. Hiking to Jogini is an experience of both endurance and serenity, as every step through the highland paths opens to breathtaking views of the snow-draped peaks and the roaring silver-white veil of the waterfall itself. Perched more than 15,000 feet above sea level, Namtso Lake, meaning Heavenly Lake in Tibetan, is one of the highest and most breathtaking saltwater lakes on Earth. Spanning nearly 45 miles in length, it rests on a vast plateau framed by the snow-capped Nyenchen Tangalha Mountains. Millions of years ago, tectonic uplift from the collision of the Indian and Eurasian plates formed this surreal basin, later filled by glacial meltwater rich in minerals that give Namtso its deep sapphire hue. Along its rocky shores rise dramatic formations of weathered limestone, shaped by relentless wind and ice into arches and monoliths resembling frozen waves or ancient guardians. These natural sculptures are considered sacred, marking places where monks and pilgrims perform centuries-old rituals. During spring, the surface mirrors the sky so perfectly that land and heaven appear to merge. To walk its shores is to witness the raw meeting of geology and divinity, a reminder of how the Himalayas themselves breathe between Earth and eternity. Shea Monastery. Rising from the arid slopes of Ladakh's Indus Valley, Shea Monastery stands as a golden echo of Tibet's ancient Buddhist kingdoms. Built in the 15th century by King Lachon Palgigon, the monastery was once the royal seat of Ladakh's early rulers. Its exterior clings to the rocky hillside like an extension of the mountain itself, its whitewashed walls gleaming beneath the high Himalayan sun. Inside, hidden within the dim sanctum, towers a massive gilded copper statue of Shakyamuni Buddha, nearly 40 feet tall, its serene gaze cast downward as though blessing the valley below. The structure was engineered with remarkable precision, using stone and mud brick masonry to endure the region's fierce winds and winter frost. Surrounding stupas, prayer wheels, and fluttering flags create a living tapestry of devotion, where the hum of mantras drifts across the stark landscape. Shea is not just a monastery, it is a fusion of geology, architecture, and faith that embodies the spiritual resilience of the Himalayas. High in western Tibet's Ngari region lies the haunting Guji Kingdom ruins, a lost city sculpted from the bones of the earth itself. Perched atop a clay hill, more than 12,000 feet above sea level, the site appears like a fortress born from the desert rock, a labyrinth of over 600 caves, temples, and palace chambers, carved directly into the ochre cliffs. Founded in the 10th century by descendants of the ancient Tibetan Empire, Guj once flourished as a center of Buddhist learning and art, linking India and Tibet through trade and faith. The remaining structures, though weathered by centuries of wind erosion, still reveal intricate murals painted with natural minerals, reflecting both Indian and Kashmiri influences. From a distance, the ruins resemble a frozen golden city under the Himalayan sun, an architectural wonder shaped by devotion, resilience, and the unforgiving geography of one of Earth's most remote frontiers. Nar village. Hidden deep within the Annapurna region of Nepal, Nar village stands as a timeless Himalayan outpost suspended between earth and sky. Resting at nearly 14,000 feet above sea level, this ancient settlement is carved into a high-altitude desert plateau framed by snow-laden peaks. From afar, its cluster of flat-roofed stone houses appears like a natural extension of the cliffs themselves, an architectural response to isolation and fierce winds. Built from local rock and mud, the homes are compact and sun-warmed, designed to endure harsh winters where temperatures plunge far below freezing. Culturally, Nar belongs to the Tibetan Buddhist world, where prayer flags flutter over chortens and mani walls carved with sacred mantras. Pilgrims and trekkers who reach this hidden valley often describe it as a living museum, a place where faith, geography, and survival have intertwined for centuries in one of the most extreme yet spiritually vibrant corners of the Himalayas. Perched at nearly 12,000 feet in the rugged mountains of Ladakh, Lamayuru Monastery is one of the oldest and most dramatic Buddhist sites in India. Built into a landscape often called the moonland of the Himalayas, its whitewashed walls rise from eroded cliffs that resemble waves of frozen sand. Founded more than 1,000 years ago, Lamayuru once housed hundreds of monks, following ancient Draikung Kagyu traditions. The monastery's architecture blends seamlessly with the ochre terrain, a maze of prayer halls, stupas, and cliffside dwellings glowing in the thin mountain light. Below it, the surreal terrain tells a geological story of an ancient seabed lifted by tectonic power, while above, the sound of horns and chants still echoes through a land where faith meets the forces of deep time. Thixi Monastery. Rising like a white fortress above the Indus Valley, Thixi Monastery stands nearly 12 stories high, echoing the grandeur of Tibet's Potala Palace. Built in the 15th century, it is the largest monastery in central Ladakh. Its tiered architecture cascading down a desert hillside at over 10,000 feet. From afar, its red and white walls appear to merge with the ochre cliffs, crowned by golden rooftops that shimmer under the Himalayan sun. Within, monks follow ancient Gelug traditions, while outside, the structure itself feels like a living sculpture, a testament to Buddhist devotion and the human will to build sanctuaries in the most extreme places on Earth. Hidden deep within the Nepalese Himalayas lies Sum Valley, a remote sanctuary untouched by time. Enclosed by peaks soaring above 20,000 feet, this hidden valley of happiness was once sealed off from the world for centuries. Its terrain is a tapestry of glacial rivers, hanging cliffs, and ancient trails once walked by Buddhist pilgrims and traders from Tibet. Villages built of stone cling to terraced slopes, while centuries-old monasteries like Rashin Gompa and Mu Gompa echo with the chants of monks. Here, spirituality and geography intertwine. A living museum of Tibetan culture where faith, isolation, and the raw power of the mountains shape human existence. Lake Rakshastal. In the remote wilderness of western Tibet lies Lake Rakshastal, a haunting masterpiece of nature sculpted by ancient tectonic forces. Formed over 30 million years ago, when the Himalayas rose toward the sky, this high-altitude lake sits nearly 15,000 feet above sea level, where oxygen thins, winds howl, and the cold bites year-round. Its waters are strikingly saline, shimmering in deep shades of cobalt and silver beneath the vast Tibetan sky. From above, it forms a crescent, a natural wonder that inspired myths of gods and demons, solitude and strength. Scientists study its mineral-rich sediments to trace the Earth's geological evolution, while trekkers and explorers marvel at its surreal beauty, an almost alien mirror to the heavens. For locals, Rakshastal is not merely a lake, it is a living spirit, both feared and revered, reminding all who gaze upon it that in the Himalayas, nature rules with quiet, eternal power. Rising from the arid plateau of central Tibet, Samye Monastery stands as the very first Buddhist monastery in the region, a living relic of the 8th century. Built under the reign of King Trisong Detsen, its design is a breathtaking architectural mandala representing the Buddhist universe itself. From above, the complex forms a precise geometric layout. The central temple symbolizes Mount Meru, the mythical axis of the cosmos, surrounded by 4 outer temples representing the continents. Constructed from stone and timber at an altitude of nearly 12,000 feet, Samye blends Indian, Chinese, and Tibetan artistry, a testament to cultural fusion across the Himalayas. Weather here swings between fierce winds and freezing nights, adding to the monastery's sense of isolation and mystery. Within its sacred halls, prayer flags flutter endlessly, carrying the voices of centuries of monks who once studied the nature of existence. Samye is not just a place, it's a cosmic vision, carved into the bones of the earth. Mustang Kingdom. Hidden beyond the towering peaks of the Annapurna and Dhaulagiri ranges lies the kingdom of Mustang, a remote Himalayan realm once closed to the outside world. Perched over 12,000 feet above sea level, its landscape is a surreal mix of red cliffs, eroded canyons, and windswept plateaus that resemble a high-altitude desert more than the lush valleys of Nepal. Once an independent Tibetan kingdom, Mustang flourished as a key stop on the ancient salt trade route linking the Tibetan Plateau and the Indian subcontinent. Its capital, Lo Manthang, is a walled city built in the 15th century, with whitewashed mud brick houses and a royal palace rising from the heart of the desert. Ancient monasteries painted in deep ochre and gold still echo with the chants of monks, preserving traditions untouched by time. Here, spirituality merges with survival, a civilization carved from dust, standing proud against the silence of the Himalayas. Hidden deep within the Ladakh region of northern India, Nubra Valley is where the raw beauty of the Himalayas takes on an otherworldly form. Lying over 10,000 feet above sea level, it is a cold desert, carved by the meeting of the Shyok and Nubra rivers. The valley's terrain shifts dramatically, from silver sand dunes and rocky ridges to green oases dotted with willow and poplar trees. Once part of the ancient Silk Route, Nubra was a vital trade corridor linking India with Tibet and Central Asia. The Diskit Monastery, perched high on a cliff, watches over the valley with its towering Maitreya Buddha statue, a symbol of peace amid isolation. Around it, the villages of Hunda and Turtuk reflect a rare blend of Tibetan and Balti cultures, where prayer flags flutter in the wind and camel caravans cross icy dunes. In Nubra, nature, faith, and one's survival intertwine in perfect, breathtaking balance. Langza Village. Perched at nearly 14,000 feet in the remote Spiti Valley of northern India, Langza Village is a breathtaking fusion of ancient geology and timeless spirituality. This tiny settlement, framed by snow-capped Himalayan giants, is guarded by a massive golden statue of Buddha towering almost 100 feet high. Gazing serenely over the valley, it represents peace, protection, and the deep Buddhist roots of the region. The village's whitewashed, mud brick homes, built in traditional Tibetan style, seem to rise organically from the earth itself. Yet beneath its tranquil surface lies a scientific marvel, fossils of ancient sea creatures, remnants of a time when this land was once submerged under the Tethys Ocean before the Himalayas were born. For travelers, Langsa is not just a destination. It's a living bridge between Earth's prehistoric past and humanity's enduring spiritual quest in the roof of the world. Perched on a ridge about 20 miles from Gangtok, Rumtek village in Sikkim embodies the serene balance between spirituality and Himalayan wilderness. Its terraced slopes overlook deep valleys carved by ancient rivers, while the distant snow peaks of Kanchenjunga gleam like silver sentinels. The air is thin and crisp, carrying the sound of prayer flags fluttering in the wind. The village is home to Rumtek Monastery, one of the most important centers of Tibetan Buddhism in India. Its multi-tiered architecture crowned with golden finials and dragon motifs that shimmer beneath the mountain sun. Built to mirror the sacred Serfu monastery in Tibet, its design reflects a harmony of symmetry, faith, and endurance against the rugged terrain. Pilgrims and travelers alike climb the winding paths, their footsteps echoing through centuries of devotion. In Rumtek, every stone, wall, and mountain breeze seems to whisper stories of resilience and enlightenment, reminders that the Himalayas are as spiritual as they are sublime. Gangti Monastery. Rising over 10,000 feet above sea level, Gangti Monastery overlooks the glacial valley of Phobjikha, one of Bhutan's most dramatic highland basins. Built in the early 17th century by Pema Trinley, it stands as the main seat of the Nyingma school of Tibetan Buddhism in western Bhutan. Its architecture combines fortress-like stone walls, carved wooden windows, and sweeping golden rooftops designed to endure fierce Himalayan winds. Surrounded by alpine forests and ancient glacial soils, the monastery is both a scientific and cultural marvel, a symbol of spiritual endurance amid the raw, shifting geology of the high Himalayas. Laya Village. Hidden deep in the icy northern frontier of Bhutan, Laya Village rises like a mirage of resilience at nearly 12,000 feet above sea level, one of the highest and most remote human settlements on the planet. Surrounded by glaciers and snow-wrapped peaks of the eastern Himalayas, this isolated community is accessible only by a grueling 2-day trek from the nearest road, winding through roaring rivers, suspension bridges, and cloud forests that give way to a barren alpine world. Home to the Laya people, a semi-nomadic tribe of herders, Laya is a living remnant of a centuries-old culture shaped by the extremes of nature. The villagers survive by tending yaks, which provide milk, butter, wool, and even fuel from dried dung, sustaining life in this high-altitude wilderness. Their houses are built from hand-cut stones and timber, with sloped roofs designed to resist the weight of snow and fierce mountain winds. Perched above the settlement, the Laya Monastery, a modest yet profoundly spiritual structure, stands against the skyline, its whitewashed walls and golden spire glimmering in the thin mountain light. Laya is not merely a place, it is a living testament to human endurance. Here, at the edge of the world, faith, nature, and survival weave together in a fragile balance that has withstood centuries of snow, silence, and time. High on the western outskirts of Lhasa, resting against the slopes of Mount Gefel, stands Drepung Monastery, once the largest monastery on earth and a cornerstone of Tibetan Buddhism's intellectual and spiritual life. Founded in the early 15th century by Jamyang Choje, a disciple of Tsongkhapa, Drepung became the heart of the Gelug school, home to more than 10,000 monks at its height. Its name, meaning rice heap, reflects the way its sprawling whitewashed buildings cascade down the mountainside like grains poured from heaven. Within its walls, generations of scholars debated philosophy, logic, and the nature of existence in vast courtyards. The monastery's great assembly hall, supported by immense wooden pillars carved with dragons and lotus motifs, once echoed with the chants of thousands of voices rising in unison. Here, the Dalai Lamas themselves once studied before moving to the Patala Palace. Drepung's architectural design is a marvel of both practicality and symbolism. The complex resembles a miniature city with temples, colleges, dormitories, and courtyards connected by narrow stone lanes. The monastery's gilded rooftops gleam in the thin mountain air, visible from miles across the Lhasa Valley, a beacon of faith and scholarship. Standing amid the incense and mountain wind, one can still feel the pulse of a civilization where knowledge, devotion, and endurance meet, a living testament to humanity's pursuit of enlightenment at the roof of the world. Chandratal Lake. Hidden deep in the Indian Himalayas, at an altitude of nearly 14,000 feet, lies Chandratal Lake, the Lake of the Moon. Shaped like a crescent and glowing with surreal shades of turquoise and silver, it rests in the Spiti Valley of Himachal Pradesh, a place where air thins, silence deepens, and the stars seem close enough to touch. Once a glacial basin, scientists believe Chandratal was formed thousands of years ago as retreating ice carved this perfect natural amphitheater. Its crystal-clear waters shift color throughout the day, from deep blue in the morning to emerald by noon and golden at sunset, due to changing angles of sunlight and mineral sediments. Surrounded by barren mountains streaked with snow, Chandratal forms a fragile ecosystem that supports rare high-altitude flora and migratory birds traveling from distant lands. For trekkers and travelers, reaching Chandratal is both a scientific wonder and a spiritual experience, a journey across ancient moraines, frozen streams, and vast plateaus that remind us how the Himalayas remain the Earth's most awe-inspiring frontier. Tengboche Monastery. Perched at nearly 13,000 feet above sea level, Tengboche Monastery stands as the spiritual heart of Nepal's Khumbu region, framed by the towering peaks of Everest and Ama Dablam. Built more than a century ago, this monastery blends traditional Tibetan architecture with Nepalese artistry, carved wooden windows, prayer wheels spinning in the wind, and walls painted with vivid mandalas that tell centuries-old Buddhist tales. Every autumn, Tengboche bursts to life during the Manirimdu Festival, a 12-day celebration of music, masked dances, and sacred rituals that honor the triumph of compassion over chaos. Scientists and historians alike marvel at how this monastery, repeatedly rebuilt after earthquakes and fires, continues to endure through its ingenious stone foundation and seismic-resistant design. Here, where thin air meets timeless faith, Tengboche Monastery remains both a gateway to Everest and a living symbol of human devotion, balanced on the edge of the world.